Hi, welcome to Camp Happy Mail. So today is another day that we are not going to make a card. If you have been following my videos lately, I've been on this kick of decorating envelopes. Um, it's just fun. That's really all I can say about it. It's fun. I used to decorate envelopes all the time. Normally my go-to would be to Copic color after I'd stamped some images. More stamped images with Copic coloring. More stamped images with Copic coloring. These two stamps here are from Inkblot Shop. Tiffany hand draws all of her own stuff and it's awesome. And she makes some great envelope art as well as some other stamp sets too that are super, super cute. But anyways, as far as the envelopes go, she makes some great sets that work well on envelopes. So I like to normally stamp and then color, but I have lately gotten into stenciling on my envelopes. And there's those ones, and let me show you the other two. So I did these ones in my last two videos. There was, whoops, this one, and then this one. And I love the way that they're turning out. And honestly, I think I'm just gonna have to keep going with this because I know that I really, really like whenever I walk to my mailbox and somebody has sent me an envelope that they have taken the time to decorate like this. It just, I don't know, it just makes you feel all happy. And that's what Happy Mail is about, right? Let's make everybody happy. So we're gonna stencil another one today because we have the time and we want to make something pretty, right? I mean, you put all the time into making the card, so why not decorate the envelope too? So let's do that. Okay, so before we put this down, we need to put something in the center of this. I have die cut shapes out to use to go on different cards for in the centers, and this is so that we can white out the place where the address will be. And then I've been using this one as the return address. So we'll just pop this up here, and it's okay that there's other colors on there from other envelopes. We're just gonna add to that. And if it gets pretty enough, I might use that on a card at some point because I don't like to waste stuff. So we're just gonna put a little bit of repositionable adhesive on this. And we're gonna put this down in the center. And then we're gonna lay our stencil down. Do stencils have a right side and a wrong side? I don't know. Okay, so this one is 6 by 6, which means it is just wide enough to cover the edges of the stencil or the edges of the envelope. And I am going to tape this down so that it doesn't move because I don't want it to move and, you know, be double visioned, blurred vision. So we'll just tape it here. Okay, and I am going to use Catherine Polar inks in all the rainbow colors. I believe this is from the Party collection. And I'm going to use Picket Fence's Pouncers. Now you can see I've done a little bit of ink blend in here today. And I just continue to wipe them off on these paper towels. I am gonna make something eventually out of the ink on those paper towels, and that's gonna be a whole other video. So you'll wanna watch for that. So anyways, let's come back down. Oh, and just so you know, if you haven't seen my other videos, I don't have enough paper pouncers to do every color family. I need to get 2 more at least. But the way that I do even my blending brushes, I do 1 brush per color family, not per shade, but per color family. And then I just wipe them off real good in between. But since I only have 6 pouncers and I have 8 colors, yeah, 8 colors, I'm sharing the blue one and the teal, and I'm sharing the red one with the pink. So you'll see me reaching across and scrubbing these to get the ink out of them before I do that so that I don't contaminate the later colors. So, okay, so let's get started. And we're just gonna make just random colors on this. Oops, on this. So let's start in this upper corner with some orange, and we're not gonna have that much because of that tag up there, but it'll be okay. I'm not a huge fan of orange anyway. Okay, so a little bit of orange. Let's do some yellows over here. And again, just very random, not any rhyme or reason to it. And then we'll do some green. And if I do the orange and the green, I'm gonna get brown. So I actually have to do my green over here. And the green and the yellow should kind of mix together to make a bluish color. So we'll just blend those a little further. Okay, so over here is gonna have to be the red, and the red and the pink working its way down here. So we'll go green, and then we'll do some, and I think I last used this in blue, so we do some aqua. So we can do some aqua next to the green. Just very random. And I am trying to overlap them a little bit so that they blend together a little bit. Not real worried about contaminating these because I can blot them off back here. Okay, and then we'll get the teal off of this so that we can move into some blue. And actually, I'm gonna put the red in here first because I want the red to be next to the orange and the yellow. Because again, we want pretty, we don't want mud. So we'll do that. I'm realizing a lot of the red is going to be over top of the tag, and that's okay. So let's bring this back in a little bit and blend this out. And then we could put purple here, and that's gonna make a really dark purple. If we put pink here, it's gonna be purple. If we put purple here, it's gonna be purple. We could do pink over here, and it'd be pinkish orange into the purple. Decisions. Let's do pink over here. Because it'll blend with the red and just look like a darker red. Okay, and then let's do the last one. Let's do the purple in the corner, and I just stuck my finger in the ink. Always, I am forever and always sticking my fingers in the ink. No, that was pink down here, wasn't it? It looks red because the red looks very orangish next to the pink. And let's touch up the pink down here a little bit. And let's go back in here into the yellow. See if we can blend this out a little bit. Catherine Polar inks are beautiful inks to work with. I love them. I would love to have the full set of hers. I've got 2 sets of them, and I use them a ton. But they blend super, super nice, and I really like them. So the sets I have is this set, and then I have another set, and I don't know which one. I don't know the names of all of her sets, but the other set I have is like the darker version of all of these. Okay, and I think that might do it. So let's cap our inks so I don't stick my fingers in them again. Now, if you've been around from my other videos, we're going to do something with this piece that's also the stencil. Been having a little bit of a good time with all the residual ink. Just something that I discovered a couple of weeks ago. And now I have to do it on everything. So let's get these cleaned up and out of the way. So let me grab the trusty old piece of parchment paper here, and let's go ahead and do the reveal on this. Let me move this over a little bit. So we're gonna remove the tape. And we're gonna lift the stencil up. We are not going to rinse this stencil off, not yet anyways. Okay, and there's our envelope, and we're just gonna sit that aside for now. So now we're gonna take the place off for the return address. And we're gonna take the one off for the regular address. And that adhesive that's in here, I will get that off with a sand eraser, which is one of these. And that comes right off, so that now I have a nice clean place to write the address. And then this piece, I'm gonna save this because on the back of the envelope, once I seal it, I'm just gonna put this on the back, just for fun. So that is our envelope for today. Simple, easy, you can do this. Just pull out some stencils, pull out some ink, go to town. And wouldn't you much rather receive this in your mailbox than just this? I know I would. So if you want to stick around for what I'm going to do with this piece, feel free to hang out with me. It might be a little bit fun. If you need to go because you need to do some of this, go ahead and go, but you might want to come back for this. Okay, so if you're leaving, thanks for sticking around and thanks for checking this out today. Glad that you were here, and I hope to see you in the next video. If you're sticking around, give me a minute to clean this up and then we'll take care of this. If you decided to hang out with me for this part of it, thank you for sticking around. So a couple of weeks ago when I was doing some ink blending on some other cards, I've got ink on my desk, I discovered something that when I was cleaning my brushes off on my microfiber cloths, not only was it making my cloths really dirty, and I really hate to put those in with my regular laundry because I'm always afraid the ink is going to come off on my clothes. And I never have enough of them to warrant doing a full load of them. So I started wiping off my brushes on paper towels. And then I got to looking at all of that ink. And it kind of bothered me because that's an awful lot of ink. It may not seem like a lot, but it is. And I started doing something with these. And I've always had it in my head that whenever I do stenciling or anything using inks, if there's a way to use up all of the ink that I possibly can, then I'm not wasting nearly as much. So, and I hate to waste stuff. Even, you know, sure you can all relate. These are my white paper scraps. I will use these, and I do use these a lot, but I hate to waste stuff. And I've been doing stenciling today, and I've been using watercolor paper to do this part of it that I'm going to show you. And these are my scraps from the watercolor paper. And I am going to use these as well to do kind of what I'm going to do with this. So basically, we have all of this ink that's left on here. And I want to use this. I want to do something with this. So I have cut some more watercolor paper down to size. I've got 2, I thought I had 3. Okay, yeah, I've got 3 panels here that we can play with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my spray bottle and I'm going to spray this down and get this ink moving so it kind of looks like watercolor, and then I'll show you. Look how pretty the colors are, just amazing. They look fluorescent. Okay, so then I'm going to take my watercolor paper and I'm going to set it down on here, and I'm going to flip this over. And I'm going to set something heavy on this for about 10 minutes and let the ink soak into the paper as much as it possibly can in that time frame. And I'll be back to show you what we got. All right, we are back. It is roughly 10 minutes later. And I had something really heavy sitting on top of this. And let me grab a couple paper towels. So now we're going to lift this back. We've got some residual ink going on here. I'm going to clean this up just a little bit. now we're gonna lift this up and see if we got any kind of a print from that stencil with the ink on it. And my stencil stuck to my card. Well, we got a little bit. It's a little bit messy, but I think it is perfectly usable. Might have had a little bit too much water on it, but still very pretty. This will be cut up and used in a card. There will be another video coming showing all of the pieces that I've done made from this kind of thing from all of the envelopes that I've stenciled. So I think it's really pretty. It looks like watercolor. And we've still got some on here, but I don't know that there's enough to do anything with this. And you know what, we're gonna sop up some of this over here. We can try to pull another print from this, but it's probably gonna be super light if we do. But let's try it and see what happens. After all, this is just play. It is nothing more than that. And if we get something nice out of it that we can use, great. If not, then I'll just reuse it for something else. And we're gonna let this one go again. I'm gonna put something heavy on top of this so that I can press it down to get the ink into the paper, and I'll be back. All right, so now we're gonna pull this back and see if we got anything from this. And I'm gonna turn this one over. That's interesting. So this is just regular cardstock. So we're just gonna ink smoosh the rest of this up. I've got lots of orange. Okay. I kind of want to let this dry a little bit before I just remove the stencil from it. And it doesn't hurt anything to let your stencil dry on top of the cardstock like this. Okay, so I guess we'll go ahead and pull this. So you can still see the design on it, which is great. Let's get some of this muddy colors off of it. All right, and I am gonna take this over to the sink and rinse it, and then we're just gonna let this one dry. So to wrap this up for today, this was the stenciled envelope that we made. Whoops, I guess I should be holding it this way. This was the stenciled envelope that we made. And then these were the pieces that we pulled off of the stencil that still had the ink on them. And this one actually turned out a lot prettier than I thought it was gonna be. The camera doesn't show the colors real well, but it's more of like a peachy color. It looks more brown here, but it actually is a peachy orange color, and it's super pretty. So see, if we would have rinsed that off, all of that would have gone down the sink, and I think we're gonna be able to make some pretty cards out of that, but we'll do that in another video. But there's our card for today. So if you stuck around with me for this long, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. And if you like this kind of thing where you get to see what I do normally after I turn off the camera, because normally I wouldn't be recording this. I would do this would be the end of it, but then I always play and do something else afterwards. If you like to see the stuff that I do afterwards, let me know in the comments. And you know, let me know, do you play after, like, would you just stop at this and then just clean everything up and put it away? Or would you continue playing? Let me know what you do and what you'd like to see, because I never stop at just this. So thank you again for joining me. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.